All right, so move on to the next segment. We're going to pivot over here to the world of wrestling inside the WWE world. And in this next segment, I'll be sharing my WWE WrestlePalooza PLE prediction. So I think it's pretty cool that the WWE has brought back this PLE from the ECW days. I think WrestlePalooza took place, those pay-per-views took place in the late 90s for ECW that was led by Paul Heyman back in the day. So it's good that WrestlePalooza is back with the WWE now, used as a PLE, and they're building this card to go up against AEW's all-out card that's going to take place at Toronto that same day, and they lined up this card that's going to be pretty stacked with 5 loaded matches. So I'm looking forward to how this is going to play out, so I got my predictions for you guys. First match, you're going to see the reunion of Jimmy and Jay, the Usos, one of the greatest tag teams of all time, coming back together to take on the tag team of Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. Now, I like it. I mean, Jay Uso has been involved feuding with this new Seth Rollins faction of Seth Rollins, Paul Heyman, Braun Breaker, and Bronson Reed for the last few months on Raw. He's being outnumbered weekly, and this is why Jimmy Uso, his twin brother, is back on Raw to assist Jay Uso to align the Usos back to get up on Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. Now, I do like how this is developing, though. Jimmy has looked like he's jumped ship from the blue brand of SmackDown to Raw now, but it looks like Jay Uso is starting to show signs of a heel turn. If you guys remember what his big cousin Roman Reigns told him a few weeks ago on Raw, don't worry about anybody else. Get back to being the guy that I knew you were when I picked you as my right-hand man when we dominated in the Bloodline days. Jay Uso was a former World Heavyweight Champion this year. Got really comfortable yeeting with the crowd. But now you're starting to see Jay Uso take his main event spot more serious. You're seeing that he's not giving a damn about other people's opinions. And he just took out LA Knight this previous Raw episode. He's starting to act like Roman Reigns was when Roman Reigns was the dictator and the head of the table and the Bloodline storyline years ago. So I like this character development with Jay Uso possibly turning heel soon. But I think this will be a good tag team match. I think the Usos are going to defeat Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. Where the Usos go from here, I'm not sure. But I think they will pick up the win Saturday at WrestlePalooza. If Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed win, it makes them look strong. And then that even teases the fact that Jay Uso turning heel even more. So we'll see how this plays out. But I think the Usos will defeat Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed at WrestlePalooza this weekend in tag team action. Next match, you'll have Io Sky versus Stephanie Valkyrie for the vacant Women's World title. Now, the title is vacant because a few weeks ago, Naomi relinquished the World Heavyweight Championship when she announced her pregnancy. Her and Jimmy Uso have a baby Uso on the way. So she will be stepping away from the ring as she prepares to be a mother. So the World Heavyweight Championship has been vacant for the last several weeks. Io Sky and Stephanie Valkyrie is a perfect match to give us a great match and to crown a rightful women's world champion that will take over the women's division on the red brand of Monday Night Raw moving forward. I think Io Sky and Stephanie Valkyrie, they're going to hit it out of the park with a lot of time on this PLE. There's going to be great wrestling spots, a lot of near falls, a lot of highlights that's going to be remembered in this match between two great wrestlers and arguably the two best wrestlers that the women's division has on Monday Night Raw right now, not counting Becky Lynch, AJ Lee, or Rhea Ripley. But I think this is going to be an incredible match. But I think the WWE should pull the trigger and put the world title on Stephanie Valkyrie here. Io Sky has already won world titles. She's a 2-time world champion. Why not give it to the youngster Stephanie Valkyrie that could easily take over this division? She is drawing attraction. She's viewed as the next biggest star. Why not put the title on her at this big event and your debut PLE with ESPN? That would be a headline, wouldn't it? Stephanie Valkyrie winning her first women's world title at WrestlePalooza, defeating a good wrestler like Io Sky. I think this is the perfect time to put the title on Stephanie Valkyrie as she could lead the Raw Women's Division moving forward on Monday Night Raw. I think she's the perfect candidate to defeat Io Sky to win the Women's World title here. Next match, you have Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship. Now, this has been a slow burner in terms of building because Cody Rhodes has been gone. He's been filming. He's been away. I think he was filming Street Fighter. So Cody Rhodes hasn't been on TV for the last month up until his return last Friday on SmackDown. So we've been seeing that Drew McIntyre is wanting to win the WWE Championship, and Drew deserves to be back in the spot. For whatever reason, he was out of the world title picture for a long time and should have been right back in there after that CM Punk storyline he had last year that concluded in that great Hell in a Cell match. But now Cody Rhodes is here. He's the WWE champion again, fresh off his championship win against John Cena at SummerSlam. They started teasing the fact that this program was going to happen. They had the tag team match of Cena and Rhodes versus McIntyre and Paul the Friday after SmackDown, after SummerSlam. So we've known this was going to happen, but the fact that there's like zero build for this match is actually crazy. But I think this is going to be a good match with a lot of time. They can tell some stories. Honestly, it's not a bad idea to put the title on Drew McIntyre right now. But I think they have a long time in this feud. So I think this match is going to end by disqualification. Whether Cody Rhodes gets frustrated with himself, gets himself disqualified, or Drew McIntyre gets himself disqualified, the title's not going anywhere yet off of Cody Rhodes. This feud will continue. I think the match could end by disqualification. Next match, you'll have CM Punk and AJ Lee versus Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch in mixed tag team action. Now, CM Punk and AJ Lee, I think this could be something special. This feud between CM Punk, AJ Lee, Seth Rollins, Becky Lynch. And it all started with AJ Lee returning back a few weeks ago on SmackDown, returning to Chicago. I mean, you could get goosebumps just watching on the television how the Chicago crowd erupted for AJ Lee to return back to the WWE. And I think this is going to be great television as long as this feud lasts for. I think that Saturday at WrestlePalooza, CM Punk and AJ Lee are going to hit it out of the park against Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. They're going to win the match. There's going to be some great spots. There's going to be some great wrestling. You'll probably see some interactions of AJ Lee putting her hands on Seth Rollins, Becky Lynch putting her hands on CM Punk. It's going to be great. And then I think after this, we should head into CM Punk versus Seth Rollins and end their feud properly, possibly in a Hell in a Cell match for the World Heavyweight Championship. Meanwhile, I think it's fresh for AJ Lee and Becky Lynch to feud over the women's Intercontinental Championship. Can you imagine the lineage if AJ Lee becomes the next women's Intercontinental Champion? I think we're going to be in store for some great wrestling with these four wrestlers being a part of storylines with each other in the next several weeks. But I think CM Punk and AJ Lee are going to win this mixed tag team match Saturday at WrestlePalooza. And in the main event, you have John Cena versus Brock Lesnar. Now, in this series, Brock Lesnar is actually up 4-2 on John Cena in one-on-one competition. In their feuds, I think the best match that has came out of this, the feud between John Cena and Brock Lesnar, was probably their Extreme Rules match that they had in 2012. But it's kind of strange to see that Brock Lesnar is a part of John Cena's retirement tour. I think we could have got wrestlers like AJ Styles, Gunther, Dominic Mysterio, Braun Breaker, Carmelo Hayes mixed into John Cena's retirement tour before he hangs it up. Surprisingly, Brock Lesnar is a part of it. So I think John Cena and Brock Lesnar will do everything they can to make their final match feel special, make it feel memorable. I think there's going to be a lot of spots, a lot of near falls. John Cena paying homage to a lot of wrestlers that weren't a part of his retirement tour, hitting a lot of signature moves. Brock Lesnar going back to this Suplex City days. I think this is going to be a fun match, but I think at the end of the day, John Cena is going to get his hand raised, defeating Brock Lesnar that has had his number during this feud of their WWE career. So I think John Cena is going to defeat Brock Lesnar in the main event of WrestlePalooza Saturday in Indianapolis. But those are my WWE WrestlePalooza PLE predictions.